excellence in sports entertainment.
Pro wrestling talk from the four corners of parts unknown. This is That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to the Rat.
The Rat? Wow, you missed 3 shows and you can't even get the name right? Jeez.
Welcome to the Rat Pack. I'm Frank. We got Joey. We got Sammy. We got Dean here.
No, it's actually the Rap Pack. Jason, from talking to his exclusive, give us those 12. Well, I mean, minimum four bars. Jay.
Oh, well, you know what? Doc and Quincy, they have a showcase coming up. I think I'm going to try to go. Go check out my TWP Extra with the guys from the Quincy Jones Show. You can check it out in the archives and on our YouTube channel, which, Brian, give us the big news about our YouTube channel. This is so exciting for us. It might be lame to other people, but for us, it's
majority.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes would say we're going to the moon. We're at 51 YouTube subscribers. We've gotten like 28 in the last month or 20 in the last month. It's crazy. It's spreading like wildfire for whatever reason. So, hey, onward and upward.
It is That Wrestling Podcast, Brian, just
Bingo.
so you know where you are.
I know.
Since you couldn't get it right, I'll throw to the first segment. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
I'll let you take this one now. Go ahead, Brian. Now back to our regularly scheduled host.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's start us off here this week. Kevin, you are wearing something very bright, very shiny.
Yeah, going through my shirts, and I did order a few more this week. Damn codes. One of the main AEW was okay. I thought the ladder match was the best part, in my opinion. So, sporting the Young Bucks Super Kick Party shirt, just because they are officially the first 2-time AEW tag champs, and the match was pretty damn good. So, I'm sporting Matt and Nick today, and their cargo weird pocket.
Their cargo types.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a spot fest, but it was amazing.
Velour. It looked like velour pants, like the track suits, like those the fuzzy material.
Joseph, what do you have?
Yes, sir. I'm going with the old school Roddy Piper, the hot rod white shirt with the ringer red collar and sleeves.
Classic as it gets. Jay, you got 2 dudes with attitudes, it looks like, right?
It's exactly what it is. It is the 2 dudes with attitudes shirt. It is a new shirt, but it's made with old material, which is so weird. Like it looks like they had this great idea for a shirt on WWE Shop. And you know how now the shirts have the label like pressed on the back, so there's not like a tag.
Yeah, yeah.
The tag has been cut off. Then they made the shirt. So it's the weirdest thing ever. But it is kind of cold in my studio, so I think I have to.
Hi.
Is it real? Is it fake? I will never tell.
Yes.
But one other thing, and this is for Joe or Kevin. I found something, and this is available for purchase.
Okay.
If you guys want, Brian, we know you're not going to fucking pay for anything. I found this. I don't know what size it is, but it is vintage. WrestleMania 4.
Nice. What the world is watching.
Trump Plaza, March 27th, 1988. This is vintage.
That's awesome.
Kevin, it might fit you. It would definitely fit your wife. Joe, same thing. Brian's just fucking cheap, so we know that isn't going to happen. We can discuss off air, or if you're listening and you're interested, I don't know where this came from. I can't read the tag to see what size it actually is, but this is legit. So we can discuss off air. Or
that was the infamous Mania when Macho Man finally got his first WWF championship.
Yeah, so I found that, and I thought of you guys, and I definitely knew Brian wasn't going to be interested.
You find it in a bin?
Yeah, I was in storage.
That's
And I'm
cool.
like, I don't remember. No idea. But I wanted to offer to you guys before I go to Wrestling for Sale and see if there's any interest there. I'm going to see them in Vegas for the Schmears and Beers event Sunday after Money in the Bank. So we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, so dudes with attitudes. It's really cold in my studio, and I have my scarf. And if you are interested in a vintage WrestleMania 4 shirt, hit a brother up. And now, Brian, what are you wearing?
I got my Mike Tyson shirt because you know you got some issues because even Mike Tyson backed out of the Ric Flair last match finale weekend. He was supposed to be part of the roast of Ric Flair, which admittedly I think would be hilarious to see and go to. But within a span of 24 hours, Mike Tyson was announced for it. And within 24 hours, he said, no, I'm good. So somebody has some common sense. And if it's Mike Tyson, it makes you think a little bit.
That's ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. Oh, stop. Who is the better lisp, Mike or Dusty?
Or Cody?
Oh, I'd say
Or Elias.
Cody's
or
is like border. I feel like Dusty's is like so thick and over the top.
Yeah.
Cody kind of hides it.
He has,
Cody's
yeah.
like
comes out
Cody
every now and
tries
again.
to hide it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. It comes out every now and again. Top 5 lists on next week's 5 Count.
Biggest lisp guy in the game today.
The list of lisps.
So our top story, we got to go with Vince, and I think this line. This was from a story on Fightful. This I thought summed it up best. And before we get into the details, those that the site spoke to within WWE, who spoke on condition of anonymity, agreed with what many are assuming, that this is the biggest threat to Vince McMahon and WWE since the steroid trial of 1994. So we cannot minimize how big this could be. But nevertheless, the details, Vince is reportedly under investigation by WWE Board of Directors over an alleged $3 million payment made to a former employee that he allegedly had a sexual relationship with. This is all a story from the Wall Street Journal that came out on Wednesday. They're now investigating the payment. This is now a former employee. Apparently, she was hired in 2019. The investigation started in April. And recovered some other non-disclosure agreements of misconduct made by former WWE employees against Vince, as well as WWE head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. This line's important. McMahon apparently used personal funds to pay for the former employee. Let's see what else. I mean, the nuts and bolts of it is, her salary was doubled from $100,000 to $200,000. And this line that was just like a bomb was the email also alleged that McMahon, quote, gave her like a toy to Laurinaitis. Very, very bombshell details in this. The board is investigating. This board still includes Stephanie, even though she has taken a leave of absence. She's still on the board. And so apparently it sounds like she knew about this, took this leave of absence. So maybe we're connecting the dots a little bit there. Kev, I'll go to you first for your reaction because you're the one who shared the Wall Street Journal story. What did you think reading all this?
The first report was only like 2 paragraphs, right? It didn't give too much information. Then more and more reports came out, a little bit more. Fuck, man. Like you always like in the persona of Vince, kind of an asshole, kind of a jerk, kind of an, just overall like bad guy on screen. It's kind of, how old is he? 75?
76.
76 years old. So it would have been 3 years ago. Like, I know Linda isn't like the hottest babe.
Whoa,
right?
Well, come on, man.
But like,
yeah, we can't go with that.
But it's a situation where, like, I don't know, putting it out there and like the hush money. Nia Jax actually had a really good tweet, like right after she left, and it went from like talking about the upper management, taking advantage to others. Now it's coming back like full swing. Like, oh, WWE kind of threw it off as being bitter, right? Then another person was like, "Yep, I'd rather just be fired, thrown out, or give my stuff in a trash bag than the way I've been treated with others." It's bad. It's really bad.
One thing you said, Brian, that I don't understand why this is a company matter. I mean, I get it, but I don't. Personal funds.
Right.
So if he paid her off with his own money, not company money. I
think that's what the investigation needs to prove.
Okay. Gotcha.
I get is how I'm reading into that, because Vince could say, I cut her a check, but if it's shown somehow that there's $3 million of WWE profits that is missing, then maybe that's where the problem lies. But this is listen, guys, this is over my pay grade. I can freely.
This is over all of our pay grade.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. I did not go to law school or nothing of the sort. So this is all. We're all just taking this in as just fans and going like, what was the deal here? Joe, anything more to add on it?
I think another part of the investigation, like it's definitely above my pay grade, but the personal funds, like Jason said, it's like, that's kind of like, can't really say anything because that's not affecting, because this is the big difference between what's going on, what happened with the steroid trial and now is 94 private company.
Yes.
2022, it is a public company that's not all powerful anymore.
What's interesting,
having the woman get a raise from 100,000 to 200,000, just like that. That is company money. That is stockholder money. That is profit. That's probably the main issue. The payoff is basically more proof of wrongdoing and defrauding your stockholders.
And she went from, she was a paralegal. Originally, her title was manager. Then with the 100K to 200K, she got promoted to director.
Yeah.
So still weird.
It is weird. And I think, so reading into it a little bit more, they asked like, can he be voted out by the board of directors? And what I read was no, he can't.
Okay. So I read something different.
Okay.
I read that he could be voted out, but since he's majority stakeholder, he can fire all of them that voted him out.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe in a roundabout way, like I ain't leaving. But I think, and you see this much more in the last couple of years, he could be pressured to resign. That public image, I mean, WWE, they are a television program that is PG. They shoot for family-friendly sponsors, and they tout their family-friendly programming, and then you've got this coming out. So I don't know.
Think about the family-friendly. You got Make-A-Wish. You got the Special Olympics.
Yes.
You got
Be a Star.
Connor's Cure. Be a Star.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, and that's involving children too. So that's also something that's like very sketchy.
So Gail goes back to what I said to start. This is like what people are thinking. This is the biggest risk for Vince since the steroid trial. So we always like to play the percentage game of percentage. What do we think? Would this lead to the end of Vince McMahon as head of WWE? I'm gonna kind of go in the middle, but I'm gonna lean right now like 40% yes, he's done. 60%. Vince is just like, he's that cockroach that won't go away, right? And he's been through so many things. Gosh, I saw some Twitter thread the other day of just, Vince did this and Vince allegedly did that and stuff. It's like there's so much. So I think for that reason alone, I would not be willing to bet my money that, this is it. So, but I think there's a chance because of that peer pressure. I
think 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, really at this point, his age has to, factor in. The big one of my thought was, look, Stephanie got out.
Yes.
She had to have known.
Mm-hmm.
The story came out earlier. We record on Thursday that Kevin Dunn might get prosecuted for insider trading because he sold $2 million worth of stock, but after April when the investigation started. So like, there's a lot of dominoes here, but I think if Vince, decides to resign, peer pressure or not, Nick Khan's going to run WWE. And I think within 2 years of Vince McMahon going away, WWE will get sold.
Yeah, that could certainly be the case. Joe, a percentage game?
I'm gonna go with 30%. I'm going on the
30%
lower. I'm going on the
Okay.
lower end, but still a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, we always say never. It's just so hard to see Vince like stepping down. I don't see him falling for peer pressure. He's going to have to be forced out, and that's going to take years to the point where he could possibly pass away before he ever steps down. So that's why I'm going with the 30. Could it go to, I don't know.
Do we know, Brian, have you heard anything about where it would have to go to a trial?
I don't think so.
If it involves insider trading.
I haven't heard of that part. Yes. Yeah. For Kevin Dunn, allegedly. Right. But as far as Vince, I haven't heard anything like could
go to civil trial.
Right. I was saying, think about Deshaun Watson. There's no criminal stuff, but he's got like 20 some civil cases. Yeah. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if that came down the line, but yeah, it's all to come. Kev, any other percentage thoughts?
Like going away 100% where we never hear from Vince again.
Yeah.
I'll go 1%.
Yeah.
because he's going to have his fingers somewhere, somehow behind the scenes. I not going to say 0, but I think it's extremely highly unlikely we see him go out to pasture.
Okay.
Now I have one question here. With all of this happening now and the upcoming Netflix documentary on Vince McMahon, does that get canceled? Because we're in the age of cancel culture. It's real.
But Vince also, WWE had a part in that.
Right.
That documentary.
But it doesn't mean Netflix can just shelve it like, the Superfan and the Lex Luger documentary. I mean, the Vladimir. Yeah. This may not, like, what are the chances now of this documentary never seeing the light of day?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a lot higher than it was 2 days ago, but we didn't know about the story. But I remember, I think like Vince did an interview years ago, maybe an Attitude Era time, either like on Howard Stern or in Playboy magazine, where like he admitted to affairs.
He was Playboy.
Okay. Yeah. So that's, that could be already, if Netflix has got this agreement, they could probably already say, well, listen, this is part of the story from, 1985 or whatever the affair took place. So I don't know if that changes it up, but it is a very, very crazy, unprecedented situation. We just don't know what will happen, but boy, we'll be keeping an eye on it. What's weird too is that, not weird. I guess really it's not a surprise, but like there was a story online of like Vince and John Laurinaitis are expected to be at SmackDown on Friday. And it's like business as usual. And it's like, man, that's just how that guy operates, right?
This is the thing. So AEW and WWE, right? Top 2 wrestling promotions in the world. And they're going back and forth, right? CM Punk gets hurt. Cody Rhodes gets hurt. It's like, boom, bad news for AEW, bad news for WWE, right? Then some good shows. Jeff Hardy recently, bad news earlier this week. WWE's trumping it. It's going back and forth, just bad situations. Like getting injured has nothing to do with bad choices, right? But it's like they just can't get a good stream of luck on either side. But yeah, the Jeff Hardy thing I think is kind of crazy too. The guy just can't get his life together.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy news lately with the injuries and suspensions and walkouts and all these things. Yeah, you said it, Kev. Monday, Jeff Hardy arrested on suspicion of DUI as well as driving on a suspended license. Reportedly blew a .294. That is more than 3 times the legal limit of .08. AEW has suspended Jeff without pay until he completes treatment for his substance abuse issues and maintains his sobriety. My question is actually a little different than what I had in the rundown, guys. Booker T has his podcast, and I don't really pay attention to Booker T when it comes to that. And he always has opinions that sometimes I'm cool with. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And we can get into just our thoughts of everything with Jeff Hardy, but his thing that he made the headlines for, he says that he thinks AEW is at fault due to the pain that Jeff has been doing in these stunts since he's come over to AEW, and that they bear the responsibility. I think we all have said, like, God, I felt like uncomfortable with some of the stuff I've seen with Jeff since AEW began, but I'm not going to fully go what Booker T is saying there. Jay?
But here's what's interesting. When the Jeff Hardy WWE stuff happened, he said WWE was not at fault. So I find it interesting that, he's not at fault, or WWE is not at fault, but AEW is.
Right.
Look, I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this. I think we all are in the same boat. The guy needs help. Look, when I was 21, I was in a drinking and driving car accident. I landed in a ditch. I had to be cut out of the car. I spent a week in and out of a coma. And then when it was over and I was able to go home, I had PTSD. I was in therapy. It was a mess. And, I'll have a beer or two if I'm driving, but that's it. This thing with Jeff Hardy is, it is who he is. And, in the rundown, it's what do you do if you're Tony Khan? You fire him. You send him to rehab and you fire him. The guy's his own worst enemy at this point. And I can't feel sorry for him because, look, I had a one-time accident that I almost killed myself and luckily didn't hurt anybody else. This guy does it over and over and over again.
Right.
Get help. The family around him needs to help him. And I don't know if you saw Matt Hardy's wife go off.
Yeah.
People said they're enablers. Look, when Jeff manipulated his way out of WWE, can we honestly think that that was completely sober moment? Because a lot of people didn't think it was, and of course the drug test and all that nonsense. I don't know, man. Like I said, we all probably are in the same boat here. Get help, get your shit together, and just retire.
And I don't know, again, going back to like lawyers and legality, but like, I feel like if you have, I believe this is his third DUI, fourth, you're saying, how does that not result in jail time? Like,
he's Jeff Hardy.
Is that really it? And like, that's sad to me. Like,
look,
listen, I just feel like you've got, like you said, a chance after chance after chance. Like maybe you have to try something that you haven't tried before and put this guy away for a couple of months and continue.
When I had my accident, I had a pretty clean record up until that point. And because of the severity of my injuries at the time, they didn't do a breathalyzer or a drug test because I was in a coma. Like I was, so they were more worried about my physical health, my safety. I got destruction of public property fines, reckless driving fines. I think it worked out to be about $900, give or take. But like I said, the guy has a record of this, history of this.
Yeah.
No jail time.
The only positive from him doing that, he didn't hurt anybody. Like,
that's it.
That's the only positive from the situation. I think it needs to be an eye opener. I swear there was a thing where if you got, I don't know if the severity of his DUIs, this one has to be like a misdemeanor or I thought if you got a couple DUIs, I thought it was like felony. I thought if you get a couple of those type of levels, I thought it is like 20 years maybe or 15 years.
Maybe that's per state. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The help. I thought Tony Khan's press release was the best part about it. It was short.
Yeah,
it was very short, to the point, and it was blunt. Get help. Suspended. We'll help you. No pay. Go get your help.
Joe?
He had a chance. He's had chance after chance after chance, and he always comes back with the same thing of, I'm not going to mess up again. He needs help. We all agree upon that. I don't need to say that again, but I'm just going to say it before I sound like too much of a jerk right now. But I'm done with this story. I'm done hearing about this story. It happens every couple years with him. And why do we still care?
Yeah.
Because he's on TV, because he got speared off the ladder by Edge. Like, he's a public nuisance now. 4 times? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, get your help, get off TV. Any company that hires him, shame on you, because he can't handle it. He has proven time and time again he mentally cannot handle this spotlight. And we keep hiring him, and it keeps happening. It's a broken record. I'm done.
Tony needed the Hardy Boys for his Fig Fed. That's why this happened. That's why he got to AEW.
Everyone who cheered for him coming back out, like, you know, you were hoping for Jeff Hardy from 20 years ago. That's not that guy's gone. But no, he's trying to live in the past. This is a troubled man who just needs to step away and take care of himself. We thank you for your service, Jeff. We respect you for what you have done, but now's the time to walk away.
You're a millionaire. Call an Uber, right? You hire a driver. Doesn't like Big Show have his own? Cody has his own bus. Like, invest in these things, man, for your own health and for the public's health. Was I the only one then who did watch the dash cam police video?
I can't watch it.
I didn't want to do it.
Sad. No. It's sad. I mean, he's, okay, just, put your arms to the side, stand still. And like 5 seconds later, he's fallen over. And maybe the saddest part was, so they still go through some of the sobriety tests. And then they go like, all right, put your I want you to count to 30 and put your hands behind your back. And so he's like, his eyes closed and he's like, 1, 2, 3. And the guy's just putting the cuffs on him. And it's like, fuck. Like, oh, it made me sad. It made me really sad that, like, wow, this is what's happening right now.
Can we move on? Can we move on? Yeah. Like, this is,
I think it was like done.
Well, let me throw this one. This isn't a question, but this is just something that'll be interesting. Following up on this, was the police said when he was talking to the police, he said he was on his way to a doctor to get a brain examination.
No way was that true. Why would you drink that much?
I think that's drunk talk excuse, right? But that's getting shivers just thinking about it.
So I take it the arrest was during the day then?
It was, it was at like 9:54 in the morning.
You are 3 times the legal limit, almost 30% of your blood, right? You have to start drinking all night then, I assume.
All right, so on to
next.
Something actually positive and something to look forward to in the wrestling world. Riddle, Roman Reigns, tonight's SmackDown. A rare SmackDown title defense for Roman, and he's been MIA for a little while now. The little stipulation, if Riddle loses, he can no longer challenge for the championship as long as Roman is champ. Who has a prediction on how this is going to go?
I think Roman wins. My original idea was that Randy comes back and either costs Riddle the title on accident or costs Riddle the title on purpose to lead to SummerSlam. However, report came out that Randy might be done for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Roman wins. We move on. Joe?
Roman wins. Will the stipulation still work if Riddle wins Money in the Bank?
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why they're doing it on SmackDown, because now Riddle can get in Money in the Bank, and will the stipulation still work? if
And
he
that's
has the briefcase.
That's the weird thing too about Roman having both championships, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, so he's going to hold the briefcase until Roman loses. I guess I don't know. That's a great question.
He only has 1 year.
Right, exactly. Riddle just going to be lining up contenders for Roman. Please, somebody take him out. Kev, any prediction?
I will say there's 0% chance that Riddle wins. I think it's gonna be a lot of near falls. I think they'll make him look amazing. He's been looking so good. You can't make him look anything but amazing. I think Usos have a play in it somehow. So you could be like, dang, he almost won. What if he didn't have to have outside interference to make him lose? And then you don't want to dethrone Roman. But the good thing is we're seeing
Not
Roman.
on SmackDown.
I thought we were supposed to see like months and months and months of no Roman. So it is nice we are seeing him championship match on SmackDown.
So Kev, I'm with you, but I'm flipping it. I think Riddle wins because of Uso interference. Okay. So he wins. He's gonna, Roman's gonna get disqualified. Riddle wins. He doesn't lose. Setting up either a Money in the Bank or maybe SummerSlam match. And Riddle can say, I was this close. Maybe the next match you go, Usos are barred from ringside, yada, yada. Because, honestly, I wouldn't have thought that, 10 days ago. And then Cody's pec exploded. And the report about Orton's back exploding. So it's like, they need people. They're dropping like flies. We need some challengers. So I can't see a Riddle one-off with this case because I know they've got Drew pretty much lined up for September, but that's still a little ways away. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, but you predicted the Celtics to win the championship. So
oh boy. Okay. Well,
Warriors in 6.
How did nobody wear an Ultimate Warrior shirt today to mock me? What was with you guys? I was waiting on it.
What?
The Ultimate Warrior for the
the Warriors. Oh, okay. I don't own one.
Over the head. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, they can't all be Grand Slams. All right.
Can we talk about Dynamite for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for this.
You saw my tweets, right?
Yes.
What the fuck, man?
He's getting out the notebook, everyone. For our new YouTube subscribers, he's getting his notebook.
I got Twitter out for this.
Okay.
I was looking forward to Dynamite. Hair versus hair. And okay, AEW proved they don't have faith in Sammy Guevara to be his own guy. They don't. Tony refused to pay Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
What's that? Oh, that's because of the hair. Okay, got it.
Hair versus hair. I mean,
I didn't catch
that. Would have been right down his alley to be the mark that he is.
Oh yeah,
but
completely.
I have a feeling why they didn't do that.
They didn't pay Brutus the Barber Beefcake, but they had Tyron Woodley and Matt Hughes, who was literally hit by a train years ago and can't. I was so nervous.
Yeah,
I was so scared they were going to do something to Matt Hughes. If you don't know who Matt Hughes is, UFC legend, and Tyron Woodley, who got knocked out by Jake Paul recently, like.
Jake Paul legend. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, if this leads to Jake Paul coming to AEW, that could be fun. But the fucking Wardlow and the security guard match, here's the deal. One, those security guards weren't the ones that he beat up over the last couple weeks. They were different. So that's a problem. Two,
they were different.
They stacked these guys up. Their shoulders weren't down. They're still in the match. If you're listening to this, those guys are still in the fucking match. And what does this do for Wardlow? You build this guy up. He's the number 2 contender. It does nothing for him.
So I'll equate it. What I agree with you. I kind of equate it to Kevin Owens, Steve Austin at WrestleMania. To then, okay, what does KO do next? he's having this funky ass, like hilarious feud with Ezekiel, right?
Which is awesome.
It is, but it's not exactly like a step up. It's not like he's challenging Roman or anything, right? And so we got Wardlow, who finally got a contract, and he's got this goofy ass program with smart marks and the security. So it's like you think you're going up, and you kind of duck down.
Well, it's very simple with Wardlow. He's not an ex-WWE guy, so they don't know what to do with him. So it's like basically like, we do this. No, and reason why they didn't get Beefcake, Jason. Beefcake is associated with Hogan. They refuse to do any work with Hogan. I think it's like I think like with Tony Khan's like big collection, Hogan's not a part of it. So anyone who's involved with Hogan, they stay away from.
Okay. Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay, really?
Oh, I feel
Brian, what do you think of that one?
Will Ospreay and Dax had a fucking classic. This guy is a tag wrestler, and he's putting out the best one-on-one matches of the year.
I was going to save that for next week when we could do the preview of what my thoughts were for that one. Yeah.
The Jericho Appreciation Society is now like NWO Japan.
Yeah, like 12 guys.
Come on. And then finally,
it's Inner Circle 2.0.
Nobody gives a shit that Christian turned on Jungle Boy.
I'll disagree on that in one respect. Yes,
Brian cared. He was the one guy.
No, my only thing is Christian is a good heel, infinitely better than fake Christian.
Is he though?
Yes, yeah, way better. Like, I mean, you could go back to the fucking Impact TNA days when he was champ there. And listen,
I don't remember bad guy Christian.
Yeah.
What is Tony gonna bring Tyson Tomko back?
Oh, there's a blast from the
Equalizer. Yeah.
Now we're talking. What's he up to?
Because Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are gonna want to get revenge.
Yeah.
Christian Cage needs a guy as big as Luchasaurus. What the fuck is Tyson Tomko doing? Let's go to the fucking Twitter right now and find out where Tyson Tomko is.
All right, we'll get research on that.
He is departing for a flight to Jacksonville. That is what he's doing right now.
Look at that, first class up in the sky. All right, good work, Tomko. If you can get it, no, that's fine. Yeah, I didn't. It was one that we all knew it was coming, and when they lost the titles, they said, okay, well, here's what's about to happen. The Unprettier is one of my favorite finishers, so I do love that move, taking them down like that. So I don't want to crap on it.
Tyson Tomko update. Kevin, hit the sounder. Tyson Tomko is in shape. He's clean. He's happy. He's healthy. If he gets sick of that shit, he should come back to wrestling and be the problem solver again. Waking up without being in agony is all right for some, but it's not everything. I don't know. Let's see. Is that really him?
I'm not sure what we just heard right now.
Well, he's got a lot of tribal tattoos on.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Like,
bring it back.
I said that last night on Twitter that no one gives a shit. And Adam Jones is a guy that's from San Diego. He has the Random podcast, RANDUMB podcast. And he was like, I do. So,
all right.
Look, when I went to Dynamite, Christian was the caddy. He was carrying the title belts for them. And whatever.
How do you feel? Oh, go ahead, bud.
I had so much anticipation for Dynamite, and the hair versus hair match let me down. The Wardlow really let me down. Like, literally, before the Dynamite, my plan tonight was to wear a Wardlow shirt. I got a Wardlow shirt because I was pumped. He has ties to Pittsburgh, and
he did not earn the right to be a part of what are you wearing. You got to earn it every week. You can't take any weeks off, Wardlow.
And it's Tony Khan's fault.
Yeah, well, there is that. All right. Another quick hitter we're going to talk about because we've got a new Intercontinental champ. It's Gunther. What do we feel about this, guys? I mean, are we happy with how he's did on the main roster? He's super skinny, which is wild when you saw him in the NXT UK days.
I think it was the right call.
Yeah,
I think it was definitely 100% the right call. You give him the IC championship and Let him run with it. Let him be the monster heel who cannot be beat on Friday nights, because the other monster heel who cannot be beat on Friday nights hasn't been there in a while. So we need someone with a championship to chase after. And let's be honest, when it comes to the championships, the chase is more important than who holds it. And heels don't chase after it. Heels steal it. Faces chase. So let's let the next big face be made from a feud with Gunther in a long time. Let him keep it for a while and actually be on television instead of like Ricochet was. Hey, feel good moment. They're going to be behind Ricochet. We haven't seen him in months.
He popped on every now and again, but
he would be hanging out in the back with Drew Gulak talking about Excel sheets, which I know Kevin was excited for. But
nice.
This is a situation where a guy gets his name changed and doesn't fucking complain about it.
Yeah.
Takes what's given and fucking kicks ass with it. I mean, look.
Good start.
We're never going to get Gunther versus Roman, but let Gunther run through the good guys on SmackDown for a year.
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm fine with that.
I love what Hurricane Helms retweeted this week after Gunther won. He retweeted, on my first night in WWE, I lost my name, I lost my music, I lost my title. I turned out okay.
See?
It can be done, yes.
Yeah, because he was Sugar Shane Helms, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. Gregory Helms comes out. Who cuts his hair? No, did not. I was like, oh, well, he's done. And nope. All of a sudden, he becomes loved in the locker room and had a long, very successful career.
Yeah, as much as I am 100% guilty of being prisoner of the moment when these name changes happen, of going, oh no, you cue up the Darth Vader, no, gif.
Not doing that.
That's
not doing that. We can't afford that. So
the tech guys are off this week anyway. I get it. Kev, I'll go to you.
What were you saying, Brian?
Go ahead, Joe. Say it. Put it back up.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
No.
What was that? Is it like a noisemaker?
Amazing.
Oh, that was
I had
me.
my Chewbacca one.
No. Chewbacca mask, Brian.
Wow.
I don't.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. Well done.
Social clip.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's how you can get around of not having to pay.
Yes, exactly.
Disney.
Tech guys, take another week off. Love it.
There was no proof that was anything from Star Wars.
No.
It was Darth
I'll
Vader.
buy the book. Right. Who was it, Kev?
Quality.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, right.
Is that our transition to the next topic?
Yeah, I know, right? Nothing's gonna top that tonight. But
Darth Vader.
How about Brian?
What?
Well,
Just like-
Kevin's
you had
excited.
a
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You had a question for me about 87 seconds ago.
I do. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. I know. I talk a lot.
It's all good. No, that was worth it. Paige is done with the WWE. She announced her contract expiring. WWE does not want her back. I know she can't wrestle, but if you're WWE, don't you say like, hey, stick around, be a manager, be GM? I mean, what are you feeling?
This is the one thing. When Paige was in the first I've ever known about Paige, when she started her NXT anti-diva, I've always liked not true goth, but I don't know, a little bit of darkness has always been a type, right? I've always thought Paige was hot. Her newer like weird oversized lips. It's kind of like getting into that diva more, but like I've always been a fan of Paige. So what's her real name? Soraya. I thought her press release was fantastic, right? Because it gave you might see me in the ring again. The fact that she let her contract expire kind of leaves it open. Okay, will she go to AEW? Will she do something? Maybe NWA? I thought not utilizing her, and at least in a situation on air was a mistake. But I'm happy for her because she's with the press release. She seems very, very happy. And that's what makes the difference. And she's dating the guy from Falling in Reverse, right?
I didn't know.
Ronnie Radke.
Yeah.
I know she, Twitch is her thing. And I think she makes decent money on there. I know, Jay, you're a big fan of Paige because if it wasn't for the Paige biopic, you wouldn't have your IMDb movie credit as you were a co-star in that film.
Correct. Yeah. When they filmed the match at the end, I was in the crowd. There's only one obvious choice for Paige. Joe, say the 3-line catchphrase.
What are you trying to say? Like,
where's the beef? No.
What? Oh no, I disagree. Fine. Sign more guys.
Yeah.
Paige runs the House of Black. Boom!
Ooh. Well, they just got Julia though, so we're gonna.
She sucks. She doesn't even talk. She sucks.
See, I disagree. I don't think she's going there. I don't think she's going there at all. It's only one word, but two or two words, whatever you want to call it. One company, OnlyFans. That's where she's going after this. She's all about that anyway. She's been like, it's an individual business.
Joe's right.
She's not going to go anywhere else. She's waiting for this contract to end. Finally, she's OnlyFans.
AEW, he's going to let her do whatever she wants. OnlyFans, Twitch, whatever.
Yeah, fair.
Like, what do they have? A stat on there? She hasn't been on TV in like 811 days. Does anyone care? It's like she's been on contract so long. It's like JTG's like, I thought I had the longest contract of never being on TV.
It was one of those like, oh, really? Right.
We like to wish JTG the best on his future endeavors. It's like, didn't he get fired 3 years ago? Nope. Was still collecting a paycheck like him. And who was Armando Estrada or whatever? He was there forever too. So yeah, Paige being there.
Armando Jalapeno. Estrada.
Yeah. So Jason, I wasn't picking up.
I can't roll R and stuff. So I can't do that.
I wasn't going with the AEW. I know. I wasn't going with the AEW one because I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's OnlyFans in July.
I think she can wrestle though.
She indicates that she wants to. So it's not. It wouldn't be surprising if in a couple months that she does. I guess, but that obviously a risk involved. But Edge came back, Christian came back, right? So
Daniel Bryan.
What? I came back? Is it
Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I thought all I heard was Bryan. I'm like,
Christian.
I was gone from the show for a couple weeks, so yeah, I guess I came back, but not how
I mean, and if you heard the beginning of the show, he doesn't even know what show he's on.
I know.
The Rat Pack Hour.
That's a TWP extra there. All right, guys. We're getting close to wrapping things up, but we decided to have some fun at Vin Man's expense. It's been a tough week for him. Let's get to this week's 5 Count.
That Wrestling Podcast presents the 5 Count.
This week's 5 Count. 5 excuses Vince made when he was caught cheating. And we're just trying to have some fun with this. We're not trying to be too lewd or anything like that. So who would like to go first? I went first last week, so I'm deferring.
I'll go first.
Cool, Kev. 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes. Let's hear it. Yep.
Done. Number 5. It's gonna start off a little easy. Then they get.
He ain't gonna do the 3 minutes.
He's old. I think afterwards he probably just said, "I don't know where I am."
Shit, can see that.
Okay, number 4, new to Peacock. Who wants to bang an angry, grumpy billionaire?
Wow.
Number 3, Linda was part of the Trump small business group, right? So they love Trump, but he really wanted to be Bill Clinton.
Oh, nice.
Number 2, little on-air reference. He just wanted to live out his Trish fantasy.
Yeah.
And number 1, this one actually was probably the only good one that I have, by the way. Since John Laurinaitis, he really wanted to form a tag team with him. Not the dynamic dudes, the dynamic douches.
Wow,
There's
this
a
is
There's a shirt.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, Jay, I'll take the last one here for this
All
one.
right, I'll go.
All right.
I'm not in favor of this 5 count at all, but I will participate because I'm part of the show.
Thank you, sir.
Number 5, what's up with that? Number 4, not my fault. Number 3, who's next? Number 2, because I said so. And number 1, it's true. It's true. Joe, you're up.
Beautiful.
All right, mine. I kind of in the same boat with Jason. Not a big fan, but I still did it for the show. Number 5, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Number 4, have you met me? Number 3, I only sneezed in front of her. Number 2, new phone. Who dis?
That's a good
And number 1, I was thinking of reviving the McMahon $1 million giveaway.
Whoa. Oh, wow. That's good. See, so, it's all the details because, like, you guys all took it one way and I took it like a little bit not quite literal of like what he actually said. I thought about more of like what he said, like, no, I was doing this instead. So here's my
I did
5.
that with my number 3. I only sneezed in front of her. You know how much he doesn't like that.
Yeah, right,
That's why he paid $3 million because he sneezed in front of a person, and that is like sign of disrespect.
Nice. All right. So number 5, he was firing the guy who listed Seth Franklin Rollins for an upcoming house show. Did you guys see that story? Did you see that, Kev? No. There's like some list on like WWE.com for like an upcoming house show in Atlantic City, and it was like main event Cody Rhodes versus Seth Franklin Rollins. And I think Seth even put that in his Twitter name now that he's Seth Franklin Rollins. So he fired that guy. He was doing that.
Ben Franklin Rollins.
Yeah. Number 4, he was pulling the shoes that Jason gave me out of the garbage to display them at the upcoming Twippy Access coming up. So that's
Gotcha.
The shoes are safe, Jay. Number 3, he was creating a new title called the All Pacific Championship. Looking forward to seeing that. Number 2, he was at the auto body shop seeing if they can fix the Lex Express. And number 1, he was watching the Celtics game, which reminds me, we got to wrap this shit up. That's this week's 5 count.
Who made your 5 count? Let us know on social media using the hashtag TWP5count.
So that'll do it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll have some happier news for the majority of the episode. Unlike this week, it was a rough one. We thank you for taking us with you on this audio journey. Of course, the socials at That WrestlePod, and yeah, the YouTube. Subscribe, man. Those numbers going through the moon. We're so proud about that, and we're thankful for each and every one of you guys for checking us out. Don't forget whatamaneuver.net for all your merch. Next week, we'll do our AEW Forbidden Door preview. Looking forward to getting into all that. And hey, guys, I say it now more than ever. Enjoy wrestling, right?
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!